Some bad news this week coming from two industries in Canada, retail and mining. There was so much excitement earlier this year when Target, you'll recall, began setting up shop in Canada. But 124 stores later, sales have fallen short and profits have taken a hit. And a big blow to Ontario's mining industry as well. Cliffs Resources halts operations to develop the province's so-called Ring of Fire region. For more on these stories, we checked in with our weekly business panel. Elmer Kim is managing director at Roynat Equity Partners. Michael Hyatt is executive chair of Blue Cat Networks.
You know, I think it was more difficult than they think. I think they thought they'd come in here and just take over Canada, and they didn't realize we actually are more competitive with the Walmarts and what have you, as they thought it's tougher. But they also didn't offer the consumers the same thing they offered in the U.S. Canadians cross the border, they see these wonderful prices, great deals, and, you know, really high-end designers, and they're suddenly really cheap. They're not really offering the same things. And also the buying patterns of Canadians are distinctly different. Americans go to many different Targets and buy different things. Canadians just go to one. So I don't know if they had the value the same, and it's much more competitive. So a little surprising. I will add, I also think the Canadian consumer is a little tapped out. Remember, the Canadian consumer has the highest level of debt out of the G8 right now. So I think we're a little tapped out. So I'm not going to totally blame Target, because this is a tougher environment.
Okay, so Elmer, if this is a bit of a wake-up call for Target, can the company actually pivot, reinvent itself, or adapt to whatever the market reality is in this country?
Yeah, it's going to take a little bit of time. They completely missed the expectations of the Canadians. Actually, the expectations they had set, you know, low prices, the U.S. shopping experience. But what they did was take down the Zeller sign and put up 124 Target signs. Not a whole lot changed inside the stores. Merchandising was horrible. The shopping experience was horrible. If you talk about what people want to do when they go to a store, they want to feel good. You don't feel good walking into these stores currently. It'll take a little bit of time, but they'll sort themselves out. These are world-class operators. Okay.
In Ontario, big blow to the province's mining sector when Cliff Resources is pulling out, or at least pulling back, from the so-called Ring of Fire development. Elmer, I thought this was the one development project that offered so much promise.
Yeah, it had a huge amount of promise. What the viewers should realize is there's like a huge amount of very important resources in Northern Ontario called the Ring of Fire. Cliffs Resources was sent, they wanted to go in and pull out something called chromite, and chromite is very important for stainless steel. The problem is, to get chromite out of Northern Ontario costs $1.40 a pound. The market is going at $1 a pound, so they're not seeing any economic returns for the next little while, so they decided to pull the plug.
So, Michael, I heard the Premier this week saying, the project, the expectations of prosperity down the road do not hinge on one company alone. Are there other companies out there that could fill this void? I mean, what is the effect of Cliffs pulling away?
I don't think the government, the provincial or the federal, it's mainly provincial thing, made it easy for Cliffs or anybody else to put road access or do things they needed to do. But this is really simple. This is about the price of the commodity. So there may be another company to step up, but just Elmer just says, no one's going to go in a loss scenario. We're in a commodities glut right now, and until we move out of that, we're not going to see this get mined. And this is just what's going to happen with chromite, nickel, and gold up there. It's about the commodity price is stupid. That's all this is about.